It was 12 years ago today. Most of us remember the exact moment when we learned about the 9/11 terrorist attacks. But for one local man, his career as a chaplain at the Salisbury Fire Department brought him face to face with those most affected. WBOC's Evan Koslov joins us live in the Newsplex tonight. And Evan, this man helped hundreds of people in the weeks after the 9/11 attack.
Yeah, that man is Chaplain J. Harvey Dixon, and he was at the fire station in Salisbury when that first plane hit. And at first, they all thought it was just a terrible accident. But once that second plane struck the building, he knew that something very serious was happening. And so he got into his car to help those in need.
When tragedy hits, some run the other way.
Would you respond as I have done?
But for others like Chaplain J. Harvey Dixon, the duty to serve makes them face it head on.
I don't think anyone that was there will ever really get over it.
In the days after 9/11, Dixon was at all three sites attacked. The first stop was the Pentagon. There he found a woman who watched her two colleagues die right before her eyes.
I don't have the answer. It seemed to me like she should be gone too from the impact of it. But I don't. I hug her and just am glad that she's with us.
That woman returned home to Wisconsin after being saved, but came back to Washington, unable to stay away from her colleague's final resting spot.
She was a godsend. She knew the Pentagon. We didn't. And whenever we were called to an area, we had a guide that knew the Pentagon well.
And then there was a conversation with a first responder at Ground Zero.
She said, "This is New York." She said, "They aren't screaming, they aren't shouting, they aren't blowing horns."
A tranquil, compassionate peace, a togetherness he saw all across the country.
Some of the things that happened that were precious, and there were precious moments in the midst of it all.
An attack that took the lives of nearly 3,000 innocent people, but memories like those from Dixon make the lives not forgotten.
Now, Dixon says he'll never forget the things he saw that day, but he also says it was a day that brought the country together. Now, this was just a small part of the interview I had with Dixon today. To see more of this interview, you can get it now at WBOC.com. Back to you guys.